G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Timmy's Tours. Now I'm here with my mate Cole.
Hi guys.
Now this is an absolutely epic four-wheel drive adventure that we're going to be taking. We're going to be working our way back from Point Culver all the way back to Esperance. There's going to be some great four-wheel driving, fishing, eye-touching scenery. Now look, the weather at the moment is not playing its part. We tried to wait it out yesterday. We're going to see what happens today. All we can do is hope for the best. But from now, let's head back to where it all begins, and I'll show you how to get here every step of the way. Okay, so we've just refueled up at Balladonia. Now that's very important because Balladonia Roadhouse will be your last fuel stop pretty much until we get back to Esperance. The second thing is, we just went past the 90-mile straight sign, which is the sign just before the Nullarbor. Now we're going to cruise down the Nullarbor for approximately 30 kilometres, and that'll be the turn off to the four-wheel drive track, which will take you to the coast. Now the track's not named, so what I've done is I've reset my Odo for you. When we get there, I'll tell you exactly how many Ks I've popped up, and I'll show you what you're looking for. Just at the start of the track. Now, like I said, I reset my Odo for you. 23.7 Ks from the 90-mile straight sign is the track that you're looking for. Come over this way, Cole, and I'll show you. There's some drums out the front, and that's what you want to try and find. So these drums on the side of the road, they've been here for many years. I've done this track twice, and I think the last time I was here was about probably 3 years ago, and they've always been here. So that's what you're looking for. Track straight in there. Air down, I'm airing down to about 25 psi for now, and then from there we'll see what happens. So I'll quickly point out on the map of what we're doing and where we're going, and I explained it before. But here's Balladonia, we filled up with fuel. This is the four-wheel drive track here we're going to take, and then we're going to work our way from there all the way back along the coast, all the way back to Esperance. Doesn't look like much on the map, but I'm telling you, it's one heck of a drive, and it's going to be bloody awesome. So we've been driving down the track for 55 Ks at the moment. Now in all honesty, there's nothing hard when it comes to four-wheel driving down this track, no technical stuff like that. It's just really slow going. Lots of limestone, ruts, wombat holes, stuff like that where you can't really build up any speed. So it's got to go slow, but I'm telling you what, the reward at the end, wait till you see it, it's well worth the drive and well worth the effort. So once you've travelled down the track for about 62 kilometres, you're going to come into a T section. You're going to see a sign that says Point Culver 10 kilometres. I think it was 50 kilometres to Tulina Cove. What you want to do is take a right hand turn towards Point Culver. That's the way you want to go. Okay, so we're making our way towards Wattle camp, and on the way you're going to come across this conveyor belt. It's quite a steep descent on the way down, just be mindful of that, take it easy. But as you can see through the windscreen, that water looks amazing, bit choppy, nice beautiful blue. We'll be down there tomorrow. So yesterday afternoon we arrived at a place called Wattle camp. Now it's a great little campground, but by crikey was it windy last night or what, Cole?
It was windy.
Man, I'm really hoping the wind drops off because today we're heading down to Billabong Dunes, right on the beach. We're going to stay there for a few days. I really want to catch a fish. I'm hoping for a mulloway. We can only see how we go. For now, I'll give you a quick look around camp and then we'll shoot off to the dunes. Okay, so as you can see, Wattle Camp's quite a big campground. You come down here with your mates. Quite a lot of room to park quite a few cars under the gum trees. There you go. So we've left Wattle Camp and we're heading towards Billabong Dunes. Now what I thought I'd tell you is that when you get close to the beach, you'll see another right hand turn. That's the one that I just previously took. Now that'll take you on the back side of the beach and you'll still end up at the dunes. The reason I'm taking it is because the beach is notoriously soft at the start there. But don't worry, there'll be heaps of beach driving coming up and I'll show you the cliffs down at Point Culver. And we're doing lots of beach runs when we go up and down fishing, so I'll show you that shortly. Yesterday you would have seen us arrive at Billabong Dunes, and when we got there I didn't do any more filming, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. It's the worst experience I've ever had here in the amount of times that I've been here. The wind is absolutely incredibly strong. What do you reckon, Cole? You can't see Cole, but he's sitting there.
It was an absolute shocker yesterday.
There's nothing we could do. We actually battened down the hatches at camp as much as we could, and we literally sat under that gazebo all day. Beers went down quite well, but that's about it. Anyway, today, as you can probably see earlier on in the footage, that it's quite overcast. We've had a crack at fishing just outside of camp. We're going to do the wind. There is no wind at the moment, so that's fantastic for us. We're heading down towards Point Culver. I'll show you that when we get there. I'll also chuck in a line. You can only see how we go. Okay, so we've made it to Point Culver, which is also the western end of the Baxter Cliffs. Absolutely magical spot, as you can see. It took us about 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get here from the Billabong Dunes. Now, I didn't tell you anything about the Billabong Dunes, and I forgot that. I'm sorry about that. That's actually the largest dune system in the southern hemisphere. The dunes are over 100 metres high, and they're worth having a climb. It'll take it out of you, but well worth the effort. I'll give you a quick look around this joint. So again, the Baxter Cliffs are an absolute sight to behold. I can't get the drone up for you. I apologise that it looks like it's going to rain, but it is what it is. What do you reckon, Cole?
Well, pretty amazing here. Bloody limestone cliffs carved out by the sea for years. Yeah, a lot of history in here. A lot of weathered area, a lot of caves. A lot of rock fall, and of course a lot of seaweed and build up over the years, pushed up by the sea. But an amazing place.
Good stuff. You having fun, buddy?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Anyway, we're going to go try catch a fish, see how we go. First fish of the day goes to Col, well done, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
I left the camera up at the car, so I didn't get him winding it in, but good job, mate.
Didn't put up much of a fight, but lost him right on the water's edge, and then had to scoop him up with my hands and flick him on the shore. But no, nice bullet in there. Yeah, guess what we're there tonight.
All right, buddy. Well done. Okay guys, you haven't seen us since Col caught that fish, and we've been here for another 2 days since that. There's a reason you haven't seen us, and that's because Mother Nature's been damn right evil. I've seen Billabong at its best, and now I've seen Billabong at its worst. But in saying that, I'm thankful for it, because we saw the other night one thing that many people wouldn't have seen in their entire lives. We had storm clouds coming in over the dunes. We had an epic sunset over there on that side of the dunes. We had lightning out over on the ocean. And mate, I didn't film any of it, but I took some pictures. So I'll put them up for you to have a look. And mate, it just doesn't do justice. You have to see it for your own eyes. But hey, I'm telling you, it was really something. From now, we're going to leave Billabong Dunes. We're going to head down the beach and then take an inland track off to Israelite Bay. And that's where we'll set up next. Okay, so it was a 25-kilometre run from the base of Billabong Dunes to that beach exit that we took. It was a great drive, to tell you the truth. Low tide, sand was firm as, really enjoyable. Now the telegraph track that we're on, we're going to follow all the way to Israelite Bay. Now I'm pretty sure this track was put in the 1870s to help run a telegraph line from Perth all the way to Adelaide, and that's how the news travelled. But a bit more on that when we get to Israelite Bay, and I'll show the old telegraph station. So this is one of the old telegraph poles I was just mentioning about the telegraph line running between Perth to Adelaide. You're going to come across quite a few of these, I think, along the track, and you may even come across some old wire. They actually used to link them all together. If I see any, I'll stop and I'll give you a look. Once you head down the track for a bit, you're going to come across this old sign. Now I remember it used to say on here, Israelite Bay, 52 kilometres. That was about 54 back to Billabong Dunes on this side. But that's been rubbed out now due to weather and things like that. But that's what you'll come across. So if you see that, you're on the right path. So yesterday, Arvo, we arrived here at Israelite Bay campsite. Great little campsite, you can fit plenty of vehicles in so you can bring all your mates. The drive in from Billabong was awesome. Changed the scenery the whole way. You had mud flats, limestone, sand hills. Really good drive. Now we just woke up to a fantastic breakfast cooked by Col, so thanks buddy, really enjoyed that one.
All good.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you around this area and show you some history, because there's quite a fair bit, and myself personally, I reckon it's absolutely fantastic, so I'll show you that. So behind me we have the old Israelite Bay telegraph station. Now this station helped link Perth to Adelaide, so there's quite a few of them along the way from Perth to Adelaide, but this one behind me is one of the very few that still are semi-standing. Now these walls, they're not the first walls that were built. So originally it was built out of wood, and that was built in 1876. Later on in 1896 they replaced the wooden walls with the limestone. When we go inside, I'll show you that there still remains of the old wood walls in there. So quite a bit of history in this, guys. I'm sure these walls could really tell some stories. There was about 150 people at peak time working in this station. There's a few old remains around here as well, which are quite interesting. But anyway, come inside and we'll have a look. Okay, so we're just wandering through now. And inside here, that's the remains of the old wooden walls that I was telling you about. So all throughout the station, you find remains of the old wooden walls, which is pretty cool. Just wandering around outside, I came across this old tank here. It's got some writing on it. And what it says, are you a vandal or just a fool who defaces old buildings? And guess what? Whoever did that, you're a bloody legend, because I couldn't agree more. All the people describing their names and whatnot and all the walls in there, no need for it, eh? I just don't get it. Anyway, moving on, I'll show you some old grave sites. So we've just walked from the Israelite Bay telegraph station over to the old grave site here. And all we've got here is John Cook. And John Cook, he was a linesman and he died in 1912. Alright, and over this side we've got Thomas Brass. He was a postmaster who died a few years later in 1916. Now this grave over here, rest in peace, Len Spur. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, alright? But I do quite a bit of reading about the old history around Australia. I like that kind of stuff. Now I'm pretty sure I read quite a while ago that Len Spur, he loved it out here. He was like a caretaker of the area. And he spent most of his life and time out here. There are a private shack over there, and I'm pretty sure that's where he stayed. And when he passed on, I think they thought the best thing for him was to bury him out here where he loved it. He loved the solitude, he loved the isolation, and I tell you what, I can't blame him for a second. So what I'm going to do is when I get back into reception somewhere close to Esperance, I'm going to look that up again, Len Spur, and find out if I am correct. I'm pretty sure I am, and I hope I am. So that, guys, that's the graveyard. I will show you the privately owned shack where I think Len used to spend most of his time. We'll head that way now. So this is that privately owned shack that I was just mentioning about up at the graveyard. Now I'm pretty sure this is where Len spent most of his time. Yeah, around the back here, there's another old building, historic building, which is linked up to the old telegraph station as well. So, more history here. So what we've got behind me here, guys, is the old Israelite Bay jetty. Now this is the jetty that they used to bring supplies in for the telegraph station, everyone that used to live here. So that's it right there, the final little bit of history that I'm going to tell you about around Israelite Bay. So I've just left the Israelite Bay campsite. We're making our way down to Bronze Whaler Bay. Decided to try our luck at a bit of fishing. It's absolutely blowing a gale, but we're going to give it a crack. So we made our way down to Wattle Bay. It's probably blowing about 500 knots. You're probably thinking we're mad, which we probably are. I just caught a little herring, so I'll continue on and see how we go. Cole, give a bit of a look down the beach, mate, and around the rocks.
This is the area we're fishing, off the rocks down here. A little bit of beach up further. There's sand blowing, the wind's blowing like a bastard. And we're just out here catching fish, hopefully.
Yep, we'll see what else we can get. I'm just ducking down behind the car, trying to get out of the wind. I caught another fish. I'm going to let this fella go. He ain't much good for anything. Okay, so Wattle Bay is a beautiful spot, beautiful white beach down there, rocky outcrop over there. I mean, if the conditions were awesome, absolutely mint. But right now, this wind is trying to blow me bloody skin off. So we're going to head back to camp, probably have a couple of beers, and I'll see you when I see you. Okay guys, this is where I'm going to wrap up this episode from the Baxter Cliffs, Billabong Dunes, through to Israelite Bay. From here we're going to carry on our trip from Israelite Bay back to Esperance, all the way along the coast. I really hope you enjoyed the first part, so please do stick around for the second part. Don't forget to like, subscribe and drop a comment. You won't miss part 2. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, Coley boy.
Cheers, Timmy. It's been a blast.